I'm not sure I should be recording this on my phone, but I couldn't get it to work on my laptop, and I wanted to get it done. So today is May 31st, 2026, and 8 years ago today, everything changed. My life changed. I made a huge life decision and left my my home of 35 years and moved out to West Texas to be closer to my parents, mainly to take care of my mother. And I can't believe it's been 8 years. It was definitely not an easy decision, but we used to come out and sorry, I've got flyaways and the light is sort of amplifying them in my face. It's something that the Lord had been putting on me for a while, and every time we would come out and visit, I would think, I'm the one at this point in my life that has the ability to go out there and help my mom. And I never wanted to. I never once ever thought about moving back. But once the Lord puts something on you and you start praying about it, and those doors, some doors open, some doors close. And that was something else. There were a few significant things in my life that did not happen. And because of that, it gave me the freedom that I needed, or the opportunity that I needed, to come out here and be here for my mom, plus be closer to my dad. And my youngest daughter had already moved out to New Mexico to go to school. So there were other things out here. It wasn't like it was just going to be my mom and I, but even if it had been, that would have been okay. But I just can't believe I woke up this morning thinking 8 years ago today, my entire life changed. I walked away from, well, that's where I spent most of my adult life raising my family, working different jobs, establishing my career, going to school, and went through a few difficult times as well. Went through a divorce and ended up on my own apartment for the first time since my teens, and that was a struggle, but in the end it turned out to be a blessing. So I had so many things going. I had a very good job with a great company, had a boyfriend, had friends, had the cutest little apartment, and just, I was an empty nester. My kids were not grown, but they weren't young anymore. So just, it was, looking back, it was a good time. So when I would come out to visit and I would feel like, I need to come back, I'm like, no, things are going good here. I'm solid. I'm home. I feel great. But there was just something wrestling inside of me. And so I really started praying about it and thought, can I start over at 50? That's hard. Like I said, I was established in my job. I was seeing someone. I had my own place. And I just thought that that's what I was supposed to be doing. And then the Lord just started really dealing with my heart. And I soon realized that I was in a position to leave it all and come out here and be closer to my mom and dad, and ultimately take care of my mom, which is what I'm doing now. And that's what I did. So 8 years ago today, May 31st, it is officially the day that changed everything. I moved out here. I can still see the morning my dad and his wife flew up and drove the U-Haul. My youngest daughter and I were in my car. My boyfriend, my neighbors were there to say goodbye, and it was like a scene from a Hallmark movie, leaving before the sun came up. And just, I think I was in denial and shock for a while. I kept saying I was going to do it. I started packing, I started making arrangements, but even when I called my mom and I said, hey, if I come out there, can I stay with you for a little bit until I find my own place? And of course she said yes. But even when I got here, it took me about a year to really just be at peace with it. I cried, I was depressed, I couldn't find a job. Not to brag, I was overqualified for the jobs that I was applying for. At that point, I was not completely fluent in Spanish. Not that I am now, but I've been exposed to it so much more and had to speak it. I'm much more comfortable now. At the beginning, especially in a professional environment, I did not feel comfortable speaking Spanish, and so that hindered me as well. Being a border town, that's a requirement for many, many jobs. And while I understood Spanish, I just didn't feel that I was ready to speak it on a professional level in an office or something like that. So I took a lot of odd jobs and subbing jobs. My dad was gracious enough to let me go out to the farm and work. I painted fences, and in the middle of the summer did whatever I needed to do. And when the opportunity presented itself, I was able to move my mom closer into town. We found a cute little house that we're still in today. And I'm so thankful that everything just kind of fell into place. So again, after about a year, I just decided this is where the Lord has me. I'm going to make the most of it. How blessed am I that I get to see both of my parents anytime I want. My daughter is here. She ended up getting pregnant and gave me my very first grandson, which, oh my gosh, that's a whole video in itself, becoming Mimi for the first time, and just lots of things. I have spent so much time Googling and asking AI what should my topics be, and I figured this was a good place to start, just on the day of my 8-year anniversary when everything changed, just to kind of document it and then start my getting back on YouTube and my video journey. And I'm going to touch on things that I've done since I've been here, starting over in my 50s, being a caretaker for a senior with dementia, which has been very hard. I have since had more grandchildren, which has been amazing. I am a real estate agent, and I also started my own business with my daughters a year ago, a little over a year ago. So lots and lots has happened, and now when I look back, I just can't believe it's been 8 years. It's been 8 great years, even though it took me a year to adjust and to just be okay with where I was and know that this is where the Lord has me. And He's got me here, and I have no doubt that He will continue to guide me, whether it's another 8 months, another 8 years. If I'm supposed to be here however long, I know that the Lord is going to direct my steps as He always has. So that was it for this video. Again, I'm going to try to keep up and just start a series. I have some fun videos in mind. I have probably some more serious videos. I really didn't think I was going to be able to get through this video. I thought I was going to have to just post a picture and then maybe do some audio in the background, but I'm pretty proud of myself. I got through it, and let me say that today, 8 years ago, was probably one of, if not the hardest day of my life, walking away from everything I knew, everything I loved, what I thought was my security and where I was supposed to be, to completely going in the opposite direction of that and not knowing what the future held. And I know for a while my dad kept saying, you need to go back to Dallas, you need to go back to Dallas. It was that bad. I was crying, and I just couldn't gain traction, couldn't find direction. I just was stalled and didn't know what to do. And thank goodness that season is over, and I'm in a new season, and I love it. I will be 58 years old this year. So I turned 50 out here, and that was pretty fun. I'll look up some pictures of the girls and I. We had a birthday get-together at my dad's, and so being close to my dad and my mom, my daughter, my 2 grandkids that are here, my daughter in California, it's closer for her here than Dallas, so lots of good things have happened. So blessings and upon blessings. But again, starting my new series, I'll have some personal things, I'll have some business things, but just going to record it and have fun. Hopefully I can keep up with this. I've tried many times and have failed miserably. So that's it. 8 years ago today was the day that changed my life forever, changed everything. And looking back, I wouldn't change a thing. I'm exactly where the Lord um, has me, wants me to be. And I know He's going to be with me from here on out. Have a great rest of the day. God bless.